Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This week I am planning with this Dash of Sun Designs kit, Ocean Breeze. It is in silver foil. It's dark blue, not quite navy, more like a dusty blue, with light blue and cream as the accent colors, and per usual, so many layering and header options and box options. I also got the deco sheet, which comes with the little toppers, and yeah, let's get into it. So this past week, I have been off of work, and well, technically, in theory, I was off of work, but I didn't actually get a lot of time off. There were a couple of emergent things that needed to be prepped for next week that I ended up having to work, I think 2.5 days out of the total 5 days in terms of business days. So that was unfortunate, and I think I'm going to have to plan some additional time off later to kind of recoup the days that I was working. One thing I really think I need to learn, and that I was technically supposed to practice on this break, was actually taking a break and resting. It is very, very, very hard for me to do nothing. I say it's pretty impossible. I find it very difficult to do nothing, and I find it very difficult also not to multitask, even while I'm technically doing nothing. So multitasking for me often looks like I'll have the TV on for a show that I've seen 100 times. I'm a serial rewatcher, and I read this tweet online that was like, she's a 10, but she rewatches the same old shows over and over again because she can't handle the anxiety of not knowing with something new. And I was like, wow, this is a loud tweet. I kind of think that is, what's going on with me. I just like comfort, familiarity. So I feel like people are really either in one camp or the other. You're either like a serial rewatcher and you rewatch things all the time, or you never rewatch. My boyfriend, for example, never rewatches anything. So he's constantly watching new shows. And sometimes I'll come over and I'll see he's in the middle of watching something, and I'm like, I didn't know you were watching this. And he's like, oh yeah, I did. I watched the first 3 seasons. And I'm like, what? But I have a few old favorites that I constantly return back to. I also have a mild confession in that for many of my favorite shows, I have not seen the series finale. A good example of this is Golden Girls. That is one of my favorite shows. I can quote it line for line every episode. I can tell you which episode it's going to be within the first 15 seconds of the show coming on. And yet I've never seen the finale. And it's because I think I just can't deal with it being over, even though honestly that show has been off the air for 20 plus years now. I think it went off the air in 91. So dang, almost 30 years. Well, definitely 30 years, because my sister was born in 91, she's 30 plus. And that everyone on the show has since passed away, R.I.P. Betty White. And yet, and still, I don't, for some reason, I just can't acknowledge that it's over. I have issues. Anyway, so I'll be watching TV, and also looking at Instagram on my phone, and also checking email every now and again, and text messages, and also sending voice notes to my siblings. And so I feel like I'm always doing more than one thing at once, and that's even when I'm resting. And I find it, I don't ever feel like I'm like, that was a really good rest. The times that I feel most rested, honestly, is when I come up from doing a plan with me. I feel like when I'm planning, I might have a podcast on in the background, but I'm really focused on what I'm doing. And so it's everything else kind of disappears. And I think I'm going to try to work on that, on being more mindful, more singular in my, kind of focus, so that I'm not so scattered, so that I don't feel so exhausted. Because I kind of think the exhaustion is coming from all this federated attention. And by federated, I mean like spread out over a bunch of different places. So I'm trying to work on being more mindful. I'm also trying to figure out what it means to me to just unplug, because again, I have a really hard time unplugging. Something I've been trying to practice this in some small ways. Like, for example, when I work out with my trainer, which I do 3 times a week, I have stopped, or am trying to consistently stop. I stopped a couple of times. I've slipped up. Bringing my phone to the training session. So the reason I would bring my phone is if someone from work had an emergency that in between sets I could, just quickly Slack them and answer stuff. But I started to think like, one, it stresses me out to have my phone there and like even think about checking it, because I'm like, someone from work could reach out to me right now and I don't really have the mental space or energy to, text them back or write them back, given that I'm like hot, sweaty, tired, likely probably a little thirsty because I'm working out. I work out outside mostly for like COVID safety, to try to be as safe as possible. And it's hot. I mean, it's summertime. It is warm. So I'm not really in the best place to answer, even though, I like to pretend that I am by bringing my phone. The second thing is, not only did it stress me out, but it also is just like quite bulky carrying my phone with the other stuff that I have in my hand, namely my car keys and water bottle. Those are kind of non-negotiables. But, there was a point in time where we needed to bring our badge. So I'm walking into the gym because I'm one of those people that's really stubborn about carrying purses and bags around places. So one of my good friends shared a cartoon today on her Instagram stories that's someone holding like an armful of groceries, and they've also got stuff in their hands, and they were like, I forgot to get a cart, but it's too late now and I'm committed to it. And that's how I am. I'm like, I just won't. I will not go back and get a cart. I will not start bringing a bag. I'm like, nope. Because I think the mentality is, if I force myself to not have a bag, I'm going to eventually stop carrying so much stuff. And that never happens. So I'm carrying my phone, my gym badge, my car keys, and a water bottle, all in both, in 2 hands. And yeah, because sometimes I have a hoodie when it's cold, but it's summertime, so I rarely have a hoodie. Anyway, all of this to say, I'm working on being more mindful, and my trainer called it mindful lifting. He was like, you're going to practice mindful lifting, which is, I'm not going to bring my phone. I'm not going to bring anything that could be a distraction. If I need to see the time, there's clocks both indoors and outdoors at the gym. And I could also be like, hey, what time is it, trainer? Another thing I'm going to start doing wherever possible is giving myself way more buffer time. This is another thing that makes it hard to feel kind of rested, even like while I'm working, is that I am constantly rushing around. I have a serious problem with overscheduling and, not scheduling enough time to really get in between activities that's comfortable. I mean, I can physically get there, but I'm just like completely overwhelmed and rushing, like I will be there on time, but I have rushed and it is going to require me to like really crunch my time. So I'm going to start scheduling some additional time after the gym to actually eat and shower, I made a joke once to my boyfriend that he's the type where he's like, I have like 2 or 3 meetings today. I can literally not do anything else. And I'm like, if someone ends this meeting 5 minutes early, I can eat a sandwich while I'm showering. That's the kind of like lifestyle I lead. And it's really taxing and just not fun. So, even I found myself rushing around this week, even today. I'm recording this on Friday. And I was just like, you're off work and you're still rushing. Like, we got to do something about this. So I will say that there were times this week where I got a chance to unplug. Thursday was my no day, which I saw this on Tammy Skipper's Instagram, that you have one day a month or maybe one day a week, some people have, where you just say no to everything. And I was like, Thursday is my no day. So I'm not I'm not hanging out. I'm not taking any phone calls. I'm not taking any coaching calls. I don't have time to talk on the phone. I'm not getting into any lengthy text conversations. I am just chilling at home. And it was great. I didn't turn off my phone, but, I was like, hey, I'm kind of unplugging today, so I'll get back to you later whenever someone texted me. And I really just, I think I still did multitask, but I definitely put on the television and also looked at Instagram, but I didn't feel so like, okay, anyone can contact me at any time and I might get caught up in something. I didn't feel so tossed about. So it was nice. I haven't done my self-care planning in a very long time. And there's really, a couple of reasons for that. One, I've been focusing much more on this planner, meaning my A5 planner, and that's not really where I have done my self-care planning traditionally in the past. The second reason is I've been kind of just doing it like untracked, I would say. So in addition to this mindfulness stuff that I have been kind of talking about, I've also been doing like these really brief meditations. So I used to do the guided meditations on Headspace, and it was fine for a while, but once I crossed over from the 5-minute ones to the 10-minute ones, I don't know. I just started to really it struggled to like bring my focus back to meditating. So I don't do the guided ones anymore, but what I do is before bed, I will lay down in bed or on the couch and, just do that thing where you count your breaths up to 10 and take really deep ones and then start over once you get to 10. And I found it's really relaxing. Maybe this isn't strictly a meditation, but it feels like meditation to me. And it also just, I feel like by the third count of 10, I start feeling way more relaxed. I've also started doing this when I wake up in the middle of the night or I wake up super early in the morning and I don't really want to be awake and I have time to go back to sleep. I've just been doing that and it gets me relaxed enough to fall back asleep, which is a problem that I have had. I struggle with insomnia. I kind of wonder if it's a genetic thing because my sister, one of them, and my parents both struggle with insomnia. And like, I wonder, I don't know. I wonder what goes on there. Or maybe we're just all really bad at handling our stress. But that has really helped. The second thing that I've been doing is doing these journaling prompts that I saw online. And I am going to blank on the account where I saw them. It was like a something plan or like dream plan do, I want to say. I might be wrong about that. But I saw Daily Planning, Dailey, Casey Daly shared these journaling prompts in the beginning of July. And I was like, those look really cool because, I really want to journal, but I struggle with like staring at a blank page and not really knowing what to write and not feeling like I could just write, so dear diary, today it's hard for me. So I've been following those journaling prompts and it's actually, really working really well. So I have a ton of journaling kits to help kind of spice things up, make the page look really pretty and interesting and inviting. And I basically devote half of each page to a journaling prompt. And to be fair, for July, I have been running like 1 or 2 days behind. Like I'll miss a night and then I'll have to catch up. But when I do, sit down and actually journal, I think it's been really helpful. And the prompts are really interesting. So I'm enjoying it so far. I'll like report out on, how many I was able to do this month. And I would love to keep, I'm already thinking about where I can find ones for next month. Maybe this account publishes them monthly. But I would love to keep doing them. So those are three, is that two? Yeah, I think that's two kind of self-care things that I've been doing recently. That's just, I haven't been tracking, I haven't been planning. And maybe having a definite plan would be helpful because I kind of just have been making things up as I go along and pretty haphazard. And like I said, I'm prone to feeling overwhelmed. Also, summer is just not my season. I mentioned this in another video, but I really hate when it's hot. And I'm miserable internally. I'm sure I'm not fantastic to be around. And so, yeah, I kind of just am gritting my teeth till it's over. But summer does have some kind of cool things to look forward to. My birthday is in summer. And, you know, once July's over, July and I think August was it August? I'm not sure which are the hotter months in California. I dare say it's late August, early September. It feels like is when it's the most hot. I am not in San Francisco proper. In this, like, I'm south of San Francisco, and it gets really hot compared to up there. So, yeah, I think it's going to be pretty hot, but I'm just hunkering down for July, you know, hoping that it doesn't get too hot, and that when it does get hot, I can just hang out inside and not worry about anything, and we will power through, and we will take care of ourselves. So yeah, I am coming to the end of this spread. Hope you all enjoyed this. I really enjoyed playing around with this kit and going for a like cooler, you know, themed kind of spread. So hope everyone has a fantastic week, and I will see you next time. Bye!